couple days ago, we covered the incident with the Anime Men where they rated anime spanning from like the 60s until now, judging it by the first episode, barely paying attention on their phones. One dude literally couldn't find the English, subtitles for Inuyasha, watched it in Spanish dub while scratching his ass on his phone saying, "Man, I just don't get this show, F tier." And I'm like, what are you guys doing? They make great skits, right? They got really popular off of like mainstream skits and content like that, but they really just pissed a lot of people off with the lack of respect and just genuine authenticity, right? You could at least just try to give a fuck about these animes that you were supposed to cover, but there's a lot of stuff going on, and now there's a video that's hitting for 157k views. That's crazy a day ago. For Mr. Randy Boy Jr. Why everyone hates these AniTubers? I don't think everyone hates them. I think that their core audience doesn't even care about drama like this, but definitely a lot of the hardcore weebs are very upset and frustrated online about it.
And by contributions to your PBS station from
Thank
viewers
you.
like you.
Hashtag ad.
Thank you.
You miss me?
Yo.
I know I've been gone for a while, but I've been cooking up this really fun video about Kingdom, and I was supposed to release that video.
I need you guys to understand, never complain about your production value. Whether or not your webcam sucks, whether or not your mic sucks, because if this guy can record out of his microwave with all the static and echo in the background and still hit for 157,000 views, that means at the end of the day, the only thing that matters is the actual commentary, the substance of the video rather than the packaging of it.
But I didn't want to leave you guys in the dark. I've decided to make some shorter videos in the meantime to keep you guys company. If you've been in the anime community lately, you've probably heard of the term tourist. Tourist is used to insult someone who you believe is a phony anime fan. Although I feel like
I will completely excuse sexy cosplay tourists. Because at the end of the day, when I'm looking at an erotic cosplayer, I don't care if they know the lore about Tsunade. I don't care if they know the lore about these gacha characters. All I care is that you have a big pair of titties and an ass and you're wearing skimpy clothing, and that's great gooning content. That's it. Why are you expecting like thesis level like deconstructions of animes and their characters from a cosplayer? Listen, if they know more about the character and the show like we've seen from Dress Up Darling, then maybe the cosplay, can be a lot more immersive. But for the most part, I do not care about sexy cosplayers being a tourist, okay?
a phony anime fan. Although I feel like there are definitely a lot of people who pretend to like anime because it's popular now, I also feel like tourist has become a bit more of a buzzword. Sometimes people throw that word a bit carelessly. So
yeah.
I want to show everyone some real tourists. Luckily for me, I found just the right people as
The Anime Men?
Meet the Anime Men.
The thing that is just so uncanny to me, and this isn't even coming from a place of hate or jealousy, I completely acknowledge that they have reached success that I will never reach. The level of viewership and discoverability through their shorts is amazing. I've seen some of their content. It's not for me personally, but I totally get that, like, why they are popular. But it's like, damn, 6 high school kids out of nowhere just pulled up with like production value, like content, and just somehow just made it in. Industry plant, baby. Some people are saying Nepo kids this, industry plant that. I don't know. It's just crazy to me, like how they just popped off out of nowhere. Like even like look at their profile picture, right? This looks like some sort of fucking like K-pop ass like modeling, picture, agency, like what's it called? Like photo shoots.
A very original name there. Wow. Look at that subscriber count.
Huge.
I've never heard of these guys in my life.
I think they're bigger on TikTok. And the reason that you've never heard of them is because their audience is totally different, right? I think they are way bigger on TikTok, and through their short form content, which is so relatable and funny through like mainstream anime skits, they made it huge, and they also have big audience on YouTube too.
But pretty impressive. They even have anime in their username. How could these guys possibly be tourists? I obviously got the wrong guys here, right? Right? Wrong! Recently, the Anime Men have found themselves in a bit of a controversy online after posting their most recent video. They had dropped one of the most dog shit videos on AniTube.
It was pretty... It's like very disappointing how you know, the lack of like care and attention they even gave to these shows. And I think something that a lot of people don't understand too is the fact that they changed their title. So I was like, why are people so mad based on their review of just the first episodes of every anime? When I looked at their, you know, again, the attitude they had for watching the first episodes, like I could see like they're not even giving a fuck. But for the most part, it's like I could understand that some of the older shows definitely are not well paced and doesn't act as like a good hook to bait the audience in compared to like 2025 animes. But apparently the title never had that in the beginning. I don't know if they mentioned, I think they may have mentioned the premise of that in the video itself, right? They talked about it, and the title was intentionally misleading in order to obviously create outrage, controversy. That's what gets the virality going. But there's like a lot of different elements at play in how Twitter discovered this video. They didn't even watch the video mostly of them explaining like the process. They just saw them judging these animes without even giving a fuck. And they thought that they were just giving a whole ass like critique about the entire anime itself rather than this is a first episode take.
They undertook a challenge to rank some of the most popular anime of the last century, offending pretty much every anime fan base across the web. Look at that sweet, sweet dislike ratio.
Wonder what it's like that right now. Hold up. TheAnimeMen. What is the ratio like right now? They still have the video up.
Whatever it's called.
Honestly, even though they deleted all their tweets and shit, like it's kind of I don't know. It's kind of respectable that I guess they put the video still up, if that makes sense. I mean, they put a lot of effort into it, even though you don't think they put a lot of effort into it, right? They you know, went in and basically just had to record this, and it felt like they kind of had like a marathon, right? Because if you looked at the video later on, they feel like they're very like low energy and they're basically like half asleep, and it feels like they decided to record all this in like one day as like a marathon setting. So with that also extra context, then you realize that like they're not going to be locked in. They're tapped out. They're forcing themselves to watch these animes not out of love or passion, but due to a viral idea. Because remember what I said about this, right? These types of videos, Guga history video, right? I cooked 100 years of steaks. I cooked 100 years of chicken. I cooked 100 years of burgers. This is just one channel that I'm showing you as an example, but this type of formula of like, I went and checked out all these different decades and generations of content, blah, blah, blah. And that's like the same thing that they're doing here. So when they make this video, it's not out of their love and passion for these old animes. Like this video may seem like to the hardcore anime weebs enjoyers, they may have thought that this is supposed to be like a love letter, you know? Something like a passion project of we love this medium and culture and we want to show it the respect that it deserves and check out all these different old animes. But that's not it. Their intention was to go viral with these videos because they are very content and business focused, and there's nothing wrong with that. But now can you understand why people are so upset and why the anime men are presented, you know, in the way that they did? Like again, I'm not here to like shit on the anime men. I'm here to give you more context and perspectives of why are people mad? Why did they even make a video like this? What happened to the ratio here?
But what exactly made people so mad? I took a look at the video to find out. Going through the video, you can tell that these guys don't give a shit at all. For the first few minutes, they're just shitting on old vintage anime. Look, I get it. Most people probably wouldn't find retro anime all that engaging. But if you don't want to watch anime from the 60s and 70s, then don't make an entire fucking video reviewing them.
And you know what? That is totally right. But again, once this YouTube thing becomes business first. But here's the thing. Even like, you know how I treat content creation as a business too, in terms of reaction content. But I never go in and react to an anime thinking this is going to get me views and I'm just going to watch it because it's going to get me views. No. The only way that it's going to get views is if the content is good. Every time I go in just fully respecting the show and give it my like unbiased, I can't say unbiased, but like I approach it in an open-minded way, and the love and passion has to be there. If people see your content and they know that you're just watching it for the clicks, that's not even how you get clicks. The content has to be good, and if you don't care about it, then the content's bad.
You could have just made a video covering anime from the 21st century. And it's not like these guys are actually watching it either. They barely even
Exactly, dude. Their fucking ADHD brain just scrolling on their phones half the time, scratching their ass. And I'm not even like exaggerating. The dude covering Inuyasha was like, oh, this is a Spanish dub. I don't know what's going on. Bro scrolling on TikTok, scratching his ass and smelling and saying, D tier. And it's like, what the fuck? You know, like, and I get it that like sending death threats and saying the anime men don't deserve human rights due to their opinion of anime is a crazy take. Of course, that's a fucking insane thing to say. But think about it. When you show such disrespect and just approach this in such an ingenuine way, how could people not be upset and triggered? It's gonna get crazy and over the top, but like, you are making these hardcore anime enjoyers so fucking mad by not even giving a fuck. Like, they're not asking for the perfect takes. They're not asking for like PhD level fucking like mother's basement deconstructions of the shows. It's just, please at least try. And they couldn't even do that to at least show up for participation.
Know what's going on half the time. They give each of these animes an F and they don't even elaborate. They've got nothing to say because they're not even paying attention to begin with.
Yes, because they're again just making this video for this specific type of viral video packaging of like, I'm gonna check out every food in all these different years. I'm gonna check out all these different music over the different years.
Sat down and actually paid attention while watching this. Oh my gosh! Oh, I think Jeremy died.
The disrespect they have for these anime goes.
And maybe they thought this is supposed to be comedy, right? That like, oh wow, Jeremy's sleeping, womp womp, there he goes doing that thing. It's like, it's not funny though. Maybe it's funny for their core audience on TikTok, but like to the people that the video actually reached, they were just like, I mean, I didn't see the entire thing, but I clicked through some parts that I was interested in. It was like, damn, they just don't give a fuck.
Even further when you find out that they've been putting them in 2x speed.
That's crazy.
Pretty trash. We put it at 2x speed.
They don't even have the
Like this. I didn't even know about that. Thank you, Coolio, for the gifted sub. Yeah, I mean, when you talk about stereotypical brain-rotted Gen Z, Gen Alpha kid, you know, like the iPad kid watching stuff on 2x speed, dopamine receptors all burnt, needing Subway Surfers on one screen and can't watch like a video longer than a minute, you know? No, Gigak watches his anime at 2x speed specifically for shitty isekais that he doesn't care about in order to cover that for just random jokes in his, you know, seasonal anime of the season videos. It's not like for every anime. I think a lot of people are taking that and spreading some misinformation about it. He does watch it at 2x speed, but it's not like every anime. It's just like, listen, how many fucking shitty ass isekai do we watch where nothing actually happens and watching it in 2x speed is actually viable? Onowere Atelier Meister, The Great Alchemist, even Tibet. There's a lot of these shitty isekai fantasy dog shit animes that I think we do not need to be watching it at 1x speed if we're talking about efficiency and treating it as a job. You know what I mean?
Decency to watch that shit regularly. I have a pretty bad attention span myself, but Jesus Christ, I have never in my life put any anime or even non-anime in faster speeds, even if I thought they were boring. I don't even think children who watch YouTube shorts on their iPads have that bad of an attention span. And there's
you never know, bro. I wonder what the new generation of kids growing up by watching Cocomelon's gonna be like in the next 10 years, man. It's gonna be crazy.
still sleeping through most of it anyway, so what's even the point? They sped up shows that they're not even looking at. Even at 2x speeds, their attention span is...
Here's a thing that blows my mind though. Even if they watched it at 2x speed, even if they were quote unquote sleeping, why would you include that in the video? That's what blows my mind. Because like, listen, you know what they could have done? They could have simply watched this shit at 2x speed. Fuck it, 4x speed. Fuck it, don't even watch it. Give me a chat GPT summary and I'll just read that summary and give my like shallow ass opinion about it and give an arbitrary number. And that take alone would probably be still enough for people to be like, wow, this guy actually kind of knows what he's talking about. They intentionally included these disrespectful scenes of scrolling on their phone because they're rage baiting? I don't know. Are they rage baiting or do they think that like this is funny? That like their disrespectful, nonchalant attitude towards watching these old animes is supposed to be good content. That's the thing that I don't understand, because I would, if it were up to me, if I was them, I would want to cover up my ass and make sure I would edit out the scenes that may make me look bad. But I guess to them, either they didn't think about it, which is, I think, crazy. Like, what I'm talking about is not even like Classroom of the Elite mind game manipulations even happening, right? This is just like common sense of, if I show the public this, would they get mad or not? Like, does this not naturally just process in their brains?
Beyond fried. Not even the most brain-rotting TikTok-addicted Zoomers are on this level. There's this particularly egregious moment when they get to Dragon Ball. Listen to this shit.
But what the hell did I just watch? Goku with a tail. I've never seen that before.
Goku?
I mean, listen. Goku with the tail, Saiyan lore is more prominent in OG Dragon Ball, where you look at the moon, the full moon, I think, and you turn into a giant ape. It does still exist in Dragon Ball Z too, especially in the first saga, right? Where Goku, again, has the tail. There are some times where the tail gets cut off, and a lot of moments, you know, Goku doesn't have a tail for a lot of like mainstream Dragon Ball stuff. I don't think he has the tail in Dragon Ball Super. And I don't think he has the tail in the Cell saga and the Buu saga. And before the Frieza saga, I think that he still has it. But still, this should be still common knowledge. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? Like, you don't have to watch OG Dragon Ball to know that Goku has a tail and the Saiyans have a tail and Vegeta turns into a fucking great ape and looking at the moon. I don't know.
With a tail, I've never seen that before. Are we
rage baiting? Rage baiting. I don't know what's more embarrassing. Them being so retarded that they don't understand this, or them intentionally making people mad for clicks and views. I think that being retarded is actually better here, because I just hate rage baiters so much. Like, they come in there with malicious intent, and their only goal is to farm controversy because they have no other fucking charisma or personality. That's what I talk about Triggy Somali a lot, right? Rage bait channels in which they have no actual core content or any charisma or personality. All they can do is come off ignorant and controversial in order to like farm the negative engagements. That intent alone, I just think is so fucking pathetic and just shallow that pisses me off than you being stupid and not knowing what's going on.
serious? They called themselves TheAnimeMen and they didn't know Goku had a fucking tail? That's like not knowing LeBron used to play for the Miami Heat. I don't even watch basketball and I know that.
This is like the ironic meme of how people call Naruto Boruto's dad. Because what does that mean? Well, Boruto is like more of like a new gen show that the younger audience watches, and some of them may not even have watched old Naruto before. And that blows my mind, but they do exist. And when they refer to Naruto as Boruto's dad, it's like, damn. Like, shit, like you you just new as fuck. You don't know anything, and this is kind of like when they say Goku got no tail, it's like the LeBron thing, right? You used to be in Miami, like they just don't know the lore.
I know it's a meme that Dragon Ball fans don't even watch their own show, but this is outrageous. You don't even have to watch OG Dragon Ball to
Exactly, it's in Dragon Ball Z for the first, beginning.
know that. You're telling me you haven't seen a screenshot or a picture of his tail? Dude, they make references to it in Z as well. How do you not know this? Then when they're watching City Hunter, they just stop it halfway and give it a C. Watch the fucking episode. That's what this whole challenge entails. Watch the damn episode and rank it. And once again, they don't elaborate why. Every time they just go, oh, it was bad. Or
That's the thing that pisses me off a lot too, where like, and I don't know if they're truly incapable of it. I would hope not, but some people just like say it's bad because it's bad. It's good because it's peak. Can you describe to me why? Can you talk to me about the characters and their motivations and the overall story? Can you talk to me about production value and how this has elevated the source material to its, enhanced experience through animation? Can you talk to me about all these different like devices of storytelling and tell me like what was compelling to you and how this resonates with you? Like, Can you tell me like your past experiences and relate that into other references and make some jokes and stuff like that, right? And I don't think you need to be a smart person to do that. If you genuinely care about what you're watching, you're so enthusiastic, it should be like a natural thing. But if the extent of your commentary is, it's bad because it's bad, I don't like this. Why don't you like this? Like, tell me. But like, the stereotype, you know, with like the younger generation is that they're brain rotted. They genuinely can't hold a conversation. They have no social interactions and their brains are so fucking tweaked out. Like, this is the extent of their reviews. Good cause good, bad cause bad.
Or, oh, it was boring. And there's zero reasoning behind it. And on the rare occasions they do talk about a show, their cadence and mannerisms are just insufferable. It's cringeworthy listening to them speak, and it's almost impossible to get what they're trying to say.
That's why I tell you, bro, reaction content, listen, you think that reacting to anime is easy? I implore you to go try it. Try it. Anyone can do it, dude. But not everyone makes a lot of money doing it, right? And I'm not saying that I do a perfect job, but I put a lot of thought and care about this of when I'm watching this, how do I give live commentary without me talking over stuff or coming off too, you know, it's really hard. It genuinely is a very hard skill to understand when to pause, when to give your takes, when to let stuff play out, and to understand that. And not only that, the tone of your voice, the pitch of your voice, your cadence, right? Even the way I'm talking right now. There is like a dynamic range as well as some sort of like pronunciations in the way that I just say things, right? It needs to sound aesthetic. It needs to have like a tempo, and it also needs to be very like verbose. It's not really about what I say. It's about, you know that saying that like Emperor Roselle said in Lord of the Mysteries, form over substance. Sometimes it's that too. And you gotta package that all together and deliver in a manner that is digestible, that is like palpable to like the average person. That is hard to do. There is a fucking skill level to this. It's not just watching anime and talking about it. Because if that truly was the case, then anyone could do it. And this is an example right here. And they're not reactors, right? They just make skits, right? So I don't expect them to have like this quote unquote skill to be like reacting to anime. And the more I say it, the more ridiculous it sounds, because now I'm making it sound like this is some sort of like super sweaty like craft that you need to practice and grind out every day.
Right there, all the hugs are looking for us. Look at this. They were just very pretty guys, but they were very girls. Pretty guys. So I just don't understand what the concept was, and
Listen, no disrespect to autoplay about how they take a note and do the discussion at the end of the episode. But I need you to understand, when you have two people writing things down and having an offline discussion using two separate brains, what do you think is more difficult? Them taking their time, fully digesting stuff offline and working off of each other, or me, a solo reactor that is doing this shit improv live? There is no time to think. Everything comes in instances and I have to be on top of my shit. And not only that, I have to interact with my chat and acknowledge them too. Do you understand? Like this is why I say, like, when I say that I'm the React Messiah, or like the level of difficulty that I'm playing at, and now this is coming off as ridiculously like, you know, aggrandizing and overtly like narcissistic, but I truly believe like the way that I do reactions and the ability for me to commentate and at least give some level of depth to commentary in it live. There is no writing things down. There is no notepad. It's just me with an army of monkeys in chat doing this shit improv live. You have no clue the level of difficulty level that I am playing right now versus everyone else that can do it on their own fucking time with multiple other brains to work off of.
It becomes very clear that these guys have a bias for only the anime that they've heard of. If the anime isn't recognizable or mainstream, they won't give it the time of the day.
That's the thing, right? They're like very close-minded. And this is also a first episode review, so obviously the animes that they have known or they have seen, they're going to be a lot more favorable towards it. They see a random ass avant-garde anime from the fucking 60s, they're not going to care about it. They're not going to be able to understand what's actually going on.
They watch Fist of the North Star, they don't talk about the plot or the characters. They're talking about the fucking dead meme that has
Oh, he said the thing!
hasn't been funny in years, because that's the only thing they recognize. If it's a show that isn't that popular, they'll sit on their phones for half of it and then call it trash.
This pissed me off so much, bro. Inuyasha is my childhood. I remember watching random ass episodes on the TV growing up. I never really understood the plot, but something about it just fascinated me. Probably was the fan service and the titties though. Let's just get serious. I'm just a dumb horny ass kid and I was like, ooh, anime booba for the first time. That was it. And the violence, the cool powers and the fan service is something that I was just like, wow, this is cool. But man, this guy's review about this was, I can't even find an English sub. I'm watching a Spanish version. I don't know what's going on. D tier. And I'm like, are you fucking serious, bro? Like, you couldn't even do the base minimum, the due diligence to find a simple Google search would have given you all like 10 separate websites. You couldn't fucking find the English sub, so you watched it in Spanish dub, and then you said, I don't understand. Like,
But there's one part that truly boiled my blood. The brown one starts talking about how he used to hate.
the what one?
There's one part that truly boiled my blood. The brown one starts talking about how he used to hate anime his whole life up until 2020, when he magically started to like it.
Well, this is the thing, right? I talked to you guys again. Remember the Guga history video? How about this as well? Anime hater reacts to. This is a very, and I'm not here to put Studio Gek on blast or any of them, but there is something very enticing when you label the videos as anime hater reacts to this, music hater reacts to that, or even this, right? Cartoon hater reacts to Has Been Hotel. Is there anything like that? There's me right there, baby. Second channel. Shout out to the second channel. Listen, Has Been Hotel didn't really hit. It didn't really hit. It's literally just like a YouTube fucking like video fucking titling. You know what did hit though? Ben 10 Omniverse, baby. Shout out to Ben 10 Omniverse in the second channel. Go check out Kaka TV2 for Ben 10 reactions as well as Beyblade reactions. You want that Beyblade Metal Saga bro with fucking Ryuga, the Dragon Emperor? Go get it, baby. But the reason I'm bringing you these searches is basically there's something very compelling about like rapper reacts to this or something hater reacts to that. Sports hater reacts to Haikyuu. So I'm sure this is also kind of like their own packaging of said content.
I mean, come on. These guys are a walking stereotype. These guys only started getting into anime because it was trendy and socially acceptable after COVID.
Yeah, and 2020 definitely just opened the floodgates with everyone inside and Demon Slayer also popping off, and you know, people's brains are becoming rotten and anime definitely became more mainstream. We make the fun of the, you know, previous Crunchyroll awards where, do we have this? Crunchyroll Anime of the Year stats. Do we have like a picture of all these different like previous winners? Because there's like a time when like, yeah, right over here. I know that the picture is very cooked right now, but basically something changes in 2020 and you see that the genre of anime that dominates is a very specific flavor of anime. Made in the Biz, Yuri on Ice in 2017 winning is mind-blowing to me. Devilman Crybaby. And then COVID hits and then boom, Demon Slayer. You know, fucking, you got Demon Slayer stuff, and then you got Jujutsu Kaisen, Attack on Titan, Cyberpunk out here was great, and it's Solo Leveling. Listen, I love these animes, right? I love these action blockbuster, mainstream, Unga Boonga, My Hero, you know, My Caveman Academia, right? Unga Boonga Slayer, right? Like stuff like that. I love it, but like the demographic that these types of anime panders towards to is definitely the mainstream audience who don't really know about anime like this, right? Like when we look, like I don't think a lot of people even understand. Like I don't even know if the anime men understand like seasonal animes exist, straight up. And I'm not saying this as if like I'm better than them, but when I was also just watching Battle Shonen growing up, I never checked out seasonal anime. I didn't even know like how anime came out. I just knew that One Piece and Bleach and Naruto are the things to watch. And that's it. I don't care about slice of life anime, right? All these different stuff that comes out on a seasonal basis, they don't know. And these type of anime will never get the same level of treatment as, let's say, when we go into winter 2026, what's going to happen? Frieden's going to get robbed by Jujutsu Kaisen or Solo Leveling. We already know that, right? But shit like this is gonna pop off, right? This is the thing that appeals to the most because this is the thing that goes most mainstream. And there's nothing wrong with like liking mainstream stuff, but there is definitely like that stereotype of the typical tourist that started to watch anime in 2020 that only knows these specific flavors of anime and nothing else. They are basically like the equivalent of culinary experts that only eat chicken nuggets and chicken tenders. I love chicken nuggets. I love chicken tenders. But like your taste profile is so underdeveloped and you have no actual understanding and depth of anime.
Today I'm going to travel back in time and fix this. By blowing the fuck out of Wuhan so COVID never happens. These guys would have never cared about anime if it didn't get them so much attention. You think these guys would have started an anime channel if people still got bullied for it? No! You got your otaku shit for the fashion, fuck nigga. I don't even want to get in.
I mean, there's nothing inherently wrong with them finding success and making popular, relatable, funny skits on TikTok about mainstream anime, right? And if that's what's getting them a lot of clicks and they realize that there's a potential to make a career out of this, and based on the Discord audio clips that we covered in the previous video about the anime drama, right? You heard the guy saying, you know, how this is a learning experience and we fucked up and we'll do better, and that they don't think that this is going to end their career, but they're very like business oriented. Like do not for a second think that like they just randomly do this. They obviously understand that they have a huge following and momentum from making those popular skits, so of course they want to make more content around anime. But sometimes when you overextend your reach and try to cover old animes like this for the sake of making a viral video, now you're kind of showing your cards to the actual anime enjoyers. Because let's get real, right? The reason that I even said this about the other video too, when they basically said, man, this video is like a 10 out of 10, as in on YouTube, basically 10 out of 10 means it's like for the past 10 episodes you've uploaded, it's like the worst. It's like the 10th ranking. And there's a reason for that. The reason for that is their core audience is built on a bunch of TikTok, Zoomer, brain-rotted kids that only care about mainstream anime. When you front load the initial first content with anime spanning from 1960s up until like 2020, of course they're going to get filtered out. And not only that, so first you've alienated your core audience. Second, the actual target audience that you may not have you may have not been aware of, they see the video and they're like, this is some garbage bullshit. You don't actually know what you're talking about. So now you're getting gangbanged at both fronts. You didn't make content for your core audience, and the actual intended audience saw it and saw how shallow and cheap it was, and now that's why it's getting fucked up like this.
Into the actual rankings of these episodes. These dudes have some god-awful takes. Not even just because I think their taste is shit. It's that they...
This is pretty interesting though. Soul Leveling B tier. But it is also, again, assessing the first episode, right? The first episode of Soul Leveling was pretty much set up that is not as exciting as, let's say, episode 2. Episode 2 is where it's just like, oh my fucking god, here we go.
This shit. It's that they barely even explain why they think an episode is good. Like when they covered JJK's fairly uninteresting first episode, they say that the episode was peak. Then they call JJK as a series overrated. Then they just say that the episode was peak again and give it an S.
Yeah, I mean, this is when you have like, and listen, I'm not here to be like lil bro them and unk me, but this tells me that like they don't actually have like a principled stance. They're just kind of going with popular narratives, and they feel, I don't know, some people genuinely don't actually have an opinion. They look at their chat or their comments and see, what are they saying? Oh, I'm just gonna go with what they're saying because then at least I'm appeasing my audience. So when it's all wishy-washy like that, that's kind of that.
Give it an S. That's it. No analysis, no discussion, no elaboration.
But here's the thing. You should never expect... well, there's one thing to say, you went to McDonald's, why are you expecting a Michelin star cuisine? But here's the thing. The McDonald's in this context is actually like wrapped up and hidden in the guise of a Michelin star. What do I mean by that? McDonald's is TheAnimeMen. They make funny short skits. They're not about giving heavy discussions and analysis of anime. But when they package a video like this and put it out, not everyone's gonna know who they are. So now it's coming off as a disguise as more than a McDonald's, and then people realize, holy shit, this is a McDonald's, this is not what I signed up for. You know what I mean? So even if I say like you shouldn't expect this level of content from them, how could they have known when they don't know anything about this channel, and this video is again disguised as something more than fucking chicken nugget eating enjoyers?
Know nothing. I can't even make fun of what they like if I don't even know why they like it. These goobers can't even do the basic thing of explaining themselves. How the hell do these guys have 4 million subscribers?
Because their audience is not us, right? We are not their target audience. They have a totally separate audience on TikTok that they ported over onto YouTube. But also onto that, conspiracy theory is industry plant. Industry plant, Nepo kids. Well, I mean, I think Nepo kid actually is not a wrong assumption to make. And there's nothing wrong, inherently evil about being a Nepo kid. I do think that one of these guys, parents, or close relatives, family, has access to production level marketing tools and just other like just production, just like what's it called? Just like the equipment and the camera and all the different manpower and resources to make professional videos. If you've seen their skits, the camera work is really good. And the way that, like, again, their channel, like, it blows my mind how, like, this is what I like to do sometimes. Look at, like, how do these channels even begin with, right? I usually go to their oldest videos and see, okay, random channels, wow, you know, little skits, right? It's just, you can tell it's not big a deal, and then boom, what the fuck is this? Vivo, music video, right? And I do think that it's crazy to assume that random high school kids would have access to resources to make videos like that, right? So I think that the assumption that they are Nepo kids, as in one of their family members are very rich and influential and has access and experience in production value stuff, and basically gave them that opportunity to make high quality content, is not an unreasonable assumption to make.
They do YouTube Shorts content?
Yes.
Oh, brother. It makes sense, though. Guys with attention spans this bad would know exactly how to appeal with children with ADHD.
Sounds mean, right? But he's not wrong. They make short form content. Their brains are geared towards short form content. Their audience is short form content enjoyers. So it really makes a lot of sense why, like, they're unable to make long form content.
Sorry, man, but your husband's condition is terminal.
How long does he have?
I can't say for sure, but about 6 to 7 weeks.
6, 7.
How do people watch this?
6, 7. I kind of don't get the 6, 7 meme recently. I've heard of it in other TikTok. I didn't get the references, anyways. I will say though, I think their acting is pretty good. You know, I think his acting's okay. And I think what's really appealing to me is like their dynamic camera work. How the camera constantly pans to another, like the tempo and like the timing. The comedic timing of their camera work, I think, is very good in their content.
6 to 7 weeks.
6, 7.
How do people watch this shit? You would have to be off drugs or on the spectrum to find this shit bearable to sit through. I did some digging on these guys, and turns out one of them doesn't even watch anime. They call themselves
Hey everyone, my name is Sam. I've always really enjoyed being creative when it comes to being or making videos, and I love going to the gym, chilling, or doing nothing all day. My dream is to one day own a farm somewhere in Northern Europe with some fluffy cows. I'm also an anime man. I don't watch anime at all. Slowly changing. Did someone say ironic? I mean, you're slowly changing, you're still watching anime. I think that there is something also unique about having, like, basically there are some other reaction channels where it's like there's like a weeb and a completely new person. And it's interesting to watch the weeb guide, the veteran guide the complete newbie amateur, and hear their like perspectives onto it, right? So like, again, it comes off, it's like a very unique angle of like, this person knows nothing about this, and now you can hear their like complete different perspectives that you would never expect from an actual anime enjoyer. And that is very like compelling and stands out amongst the crowd of this saturated field where everyone is sweaty about anime.
They call themselves TheAnimeMen, by the way. This guy just blatantly admits that he doesn't watch anime right under his introduction page. Cold hard proof that these guys are complete posers. I don't want anyone telling me otherwise. These guys don't care for the medium. That much was obvious.
Yeah, I don't think they care about anime as much as, you know, we do. I don't think they necessarily need to. I think that, again, they make funny, relatable skits about popular meme culture and anime that goes mainstream. and there is no responsibility for them to actually know about anime at a deeper level than the requirements of their, you know, TikToks. But again, the expectation, again, the reason why a lot of people are upset is because of the platform that they have, right? There is something about the fact that they have 4 million subscribers and they have this platform and discoverability and reach and how they represent anime. And a lot of anime fans are upset that like this is who represents our fandom. And this is not an issue with the anime men, genuinely. This is not their fault. You know whose fault this is? This is the consumer's fault, and this is also the algorithm's fault. So what I mean by that is, on YouTube, the more popular you are doesn't mean that you have better content. It means that your demographic, the audience in which you cater towards is the biggest. And what is the biggest demographic? Young, impressionable children who watch mainstream Unga Bunga shows. And once you realize that that is the best way to get popular, then you realize that, they actually really don't have deep level analysis and criticisms to give. They simply give shallow surface level comedic bits and memes because it's funny, and a lot of kids love that, and therefore they're growing. The recommendation system on YouTube also appreciates how much engagement is coming from that core demographic as it outcompetes everyone else, right? And therefore, this is who represents anime. And again, I don't think it's the TheAnimeMen's fault. They are simply playing the game, and they play the game really well. But they should also be aware with that this level of platform and power and influence, you need to do a better fucking job in representing the type of content that you want to do. And when you make, again, like this history fucking video covering so many different anime, it is outside of their fucking reach, and they should have made different topics, right? This is probably like one of the worst topics that they could have made a video about.
About a video. The entire video concept is stupid to begin with. It's unfair to judge the first episode of something because a vast majority of it is set up for the rest of the story. A lot of anime often take their time and progressively get better as the series goes on. One of my favorite animes ever, the anime I revolve my entire
Gintama
online persona around, is Gintama. And honestly, Gintama
I hear that shit takes 50 episodes to start cooking.
has a dog shit first episode. It starts off with a non-canon filler episode that doesn't work as a proper introduction to the world and the characters. But as the characters developed and their dynamics blossomed, I became obsessed with how entertaining the show was.
Yeah, that's what I hear about Gintama a lot. That like it takes like 50 episodes to get to the first major arc, and only then are you like, wow, I'm getting into it, right? But how do you like convince someone to do that, right? The average person, if the first 3 episodes are not enticing, they're out. Fuck the first 3. If the first episode's not enticing, they're out, right? So the modern audience definitely won't care, but like the old heads back in the day that grew up watching anime and just appreciated for what it was, and I guess had a better quote unquote attention span, they could, you know, watch this. I think that Gintama should have done a better job, right? I think that like the first couple episodes of Gintama, like I haven't seen it, but based on what he's saying, that is a mistake of its own. I think that like this is not like basically what I'm trying to say is they should have done a better job in trying to connect with their core audience immediately rather than filtering out everybody and only the hardcore audience stays around. But it's crazy how this is actually has a cult-like following too. There's a lot of hardcore enjoyers, and that's the beautiful thing about actually good art, good product, is that even if it is not appreciated by like the mainstream, the hardcore fans will stick around and see the hidden gem for what it is, and it'll build up a really hardcore following.
Not everything will be mind-blowing from the start. To recognize this, you have to have patience. These bums just want immediate gratification. These niggas make the perfect case for gatekeeping. It's why people have such a burning hatred for tourists. It's exactly why people make fun of shonen tards.
Is there something wrong with someone having no patience and enjoying battle shonen anime only though? Why do we need to gatekeep them? Because I guess like the assumption here is that they're replacing us. These are not real anime fans, and they don't deserve to be among us. It's kind of like that sentiment. To me, it's like I don't care. Because there's a lot of people watching Solo Leveling and fucking Dandadan and other bullshit on Netflix, right? That is really, really popular in English dub, right? And is their experience of that gonna affect mine? No. Are there people that's watching a lot of, mainstream people watching, One Piece live action and stuff like that, and they love it? Is that going to impact me? No, right? I think that at the end of the day, you can enjoy whatever you want. But definitely understand, like, why people are hating on the TheAnimeMen right now. Because of how disingenuous, how disrespectful, and how little effort they put into a video like this, which is clearly out of their league.
People make fun of shonen tards. I can't watch this. There's no hype or aura. Where are my aura and hype moments? You're all a bunch of cringe LARPers who don't know what they're talking about.
Bunch of
I would
phonies.
say no offense to these guys, but it wouldn't be genuine. All offense to these guys.
Mr. Randy's going fucking all the way in right now, bro. Don't give a fuck.
Fuck them. In fact, if I ever catch one of you in public, you might get lynched.
Jesus! Whoa, whoa, whoa. We don't do calls to actions for violence or stuff like that. That's not cool, but it's just a joke, right? It's just a meme. I think Randy Boy Jr. definitely shot from the hip and gave a very passionate and authentic perspective of how a lot of people are feeling about the TheAnimeMen right now. And again, I'm not here to like crucify them. I'm not here to like burn them on a stake. I'm here to give you a perspective on why a lot of people are hating them and why they definitely do have fault. In life, it's never an absolute thing. There's many different things involved. So TLDR, what's the core issue? They decided to make a video in which the structure is supposed to be for virality. The history of whatever, right? 100 years of cooking, 100 years of blah, 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 100 years of anime. They weren't going into this video thinking, I love, anime and I love these animes and I want to talk about it. It was more of, I think that this type of video is going to bang, let's make it. And now they're going in with no effort. They don't actually care about what they're doing and their content reflects that. Not only that, their core audience are a bunch of brain-rotted TikTok kids that get filtered out at the first 1 minute mark because they don't actually care about the old animes they're covering. And then their intended audience in which it received are first time watching these guys seeing, holy shit, they have 4.5 million subscribers. They must be big authoritative figures in the anime community and this is the extent of their take. And of course they're gonna get mad. How did they get so popular? How did they get so big? What the fuck is actually going on? They're frauds, they're, tourists, and people are gonna jump to conclusions and say, this is why, we need to gatekeep and this is why popular mainstream Zoomer animes is the death of our community. What you need to realize is that 4.57 million subscribers here aren't even actual, mostly anime enjoyers. They are just casual anime fans that watches Dandadan because their friends said, hey, have you seen this episode of Dandadan or Solo Leveling, right? They have no understanding of seasonal anime content or any other type of anime other than Unga Bunga Shonen because that's the biggest demographic. And when you make content for young, impressionable kids whose memories are of a goldfish and then they try to do content on this, what could you expect? Hopefully I have deconstructed this entire quote-unquote drama and why people are upset. I don't think that it's, again, their responsibility to be able to make content deeper than the skits that they make, but they should also be aware that, like, when you try to make content around stuff that's out of their league and you put in, like, little to no effort into it, y'all are gonna get fucking crucified. Please check out Randy Boy Jr. That was a great video. Link to the video right over here. Go give the video a like and check out his channel for other content like this. See you next time.